Jean Craighead George's masterpiece novel My Side of the Mountain is a lovely coming-of-age tale about a city boy, Sam Gribley, who moves to the wilderness of Delhi, New York to pursue a fulfilling life of survival. As a kid, the book kept me engaged at school and showed me the importance of resourcefulness and self-confidence. In selecting this book for my final project, I quickly noticed that it had very little challenging and banning history. That's why I decided to go to the place people knew the book best, Delhi, New York, to challenge it myself. I created a petition to ban the book in New York public schools. Names were easy to come by after I came up with the first fake name. I thought that people would be more inclined to sign a petition if they thought other people already agreed to do so.
Johnny Benz. That works. Excuse me, sir. Mind if I grab a moment of your time?
I do one minute early.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Hi, I'm looking to get signatures for a petition. Are you from Delhi? It's for a proposition to get a book banned in public schools.
A book? What book?
Yeah, it's My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead.
Ah, come on. Guess what my last name is?
What is it?
George. And I'm not banning that book.
Oh, okay.
Buddy. Thank you.
Petition to ban the book in New York public schools. It's My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George. Thank you very much. Jean Craighead George's My Side of the Mountain band. I'm looking for 30 signatures for my petition.
For what?
My petition.
For what, Del?
To ban My Side of the Mountain in New York public schools.
No.
I was happy to have gotten the signature, but something didn't seem right about the people's attitudes towards my proposition. Sam Gribley visits the library in the book, and I figured I should do the same, so I set up a meeting with Delhi's librarians the following Saturday, hoping for some insight on Delhi's mindset. What importance does My Side of the Mountain hold to the community of Delhi, people in general? I know you've kind of already answered this, but
I'll go with your idea that, small town and something of renown being a source of pride.
Yeah, I would say the people who, again, what I said before, the people who read it and could look outside and say, oh, this is my home that we're writing about, held on pretty tight to it because we have a lot of people who still talk about it. But then we also, if they miss that age demographic, then they don't really relate to it as much. So,
yeah,
yep.
thank
But
you.
we're getting to the point where hardly anybody's missed that demographic.
But almost everybody you
Those-
talk to has read it, I feel like, now, who comes in. And maybe they read it because it's based in Delhi.
I read it as a kid and didn't grow up in Delhi. Like I told you, I was Shenango Forks.
Yeah.
But it's a similar enough place that I could relate to, going out in the woods.
Some people feel My Side of the Mountain has inappropriate aspects, such as the use of the term Indian, violence towards animals, and the encouragement of people to run away from home. They believe these aspects present enough reason to ban the book in public schools. What argument do you think should be made against those trying to ban the book?
Well, I think we talked about it before with the word Indian being, it was used at the time. And when it's used in the book, it's not a derogatory. It's history. That's what Native Americans were called. So I don't think reading it and hearing the word or seeing the word really will be hurtful to anybody. Violence toward animals, again, it's history. The kid's out in the woods, got to survive, he needs protein. You can only eat so many bugs and grubs. Encourage people from running away from home, I think everybody's got a little dream about running away from home now and then, but to actually, it certainly doesn't give you an instruction booklet for how to run away from home and survive, because if you tried to do what he did, it would be pretty impossible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reasons to ban the book, just silly.
All terrible reasons.
Yeah. What argument do you think should be made against those trying to ban the book?
Oh, it's a piece of literature. It's a fictional piece of literature. So I just think
It's fictional,
it's fictional. based in the time, so nothing that they're saying was inappropriate at the time. So again, I just think it's useful as a talking point with kids to explain how things were then. I mean, it would be different if it was based in modern day times and then those things were happening. But, I mean, you know what I mean, not modern. That's why
Right.
books are so important. That's
Yeah.
why history is so important.
How do you think a proposition to ban My Side of the Mountain would be received in the community of Delhi?
Again, I think this is a pretty independent-minded community, so I think the idea of banning anything would be a problem, but mostly because that book really is about our home, so I don't think it would go over very well. That was the other interesting thing, I'm sure when you were researching banned books, it's mostly southern states,
Yeah.
Midwestern states, Florida, Texas. I mean, New York doesn't ban books easily anyway, so I'm sure My Side of the Mountain would not be on the top of anybody's list to get rid of. We did that while you were gone. Should have,
Okay,
yeah. If you have anything to add.
So you did number 4
How do we
while
think
ago.
the community would respond to that book being banned?
I think they would be up in arms.
Yeah. Our library, I don't know if you noticed when you came in, or maybe Susan told you, it's considered a historic, right, literary historic landmark or something because of the book. I mean, that's how important the book was to a lot of people.
Wow.
So to ban a book because of a word or a theme that somebody doesn't like doesn't make any sense.
In speaking with Lynn and Susan, I couldn't believe I'd gotten a signature at all. They showed me a shrine to the book in the children's section, a log of thousands of names of people from far and wide who had visited the library because of the book. They put the love that people can have for a single piece of literature into perspective, and made me reflect on my heinous idea to challenge the book in its very home.
I'm not banning that book. Thank you.
I didn't realize that banning My Side of the Mountain in Delhi was a losing battle when I started. I figured the people who knew the book best would be receptive to finally addressing its ugly aspects. Their love of the book made a proposition to ban it seem obscene. I needed an old lady to laugh in my face and call me buddy in order to realize something. When people go about banning books, they often don't realize they're banning something else on top of it. Joy,